If I go and mispredict there, you will finish me on the street. Okay, somebody's asking about exit poll once again. If you watch CNN, CNBC, and the big network stations globally, after polls have closed in the US, they release exit poll. The exit poll is a survey you do on the very day the election was going on. After you have finished voting from your polling station, you are engaged by somebody in the field, ask you if you have a few minutes, I want to talk to you. It's fine. You ask them, what do you think about the country? Are we heading in the right direction or wrong direction? Do you approve or disapprove the president? What is your top issue in Ghana today? Who did you vote for today? Why did you vote for that person today? And then your age, your gender, and some few questions. So when you finish that, then you analyze how they have voted by the way they told you, and see whether you can know who wins or who will win the election before the votes are actually counted. So you can see sometimes CNN projects this candidate will win this state. Sometimes by exit poll. Now, if it is too close to call, then they won't project. They will wait until they've counted a good number of votes, and then they use the exit polls, compare that to what has been counted and what is outstanding, and then do the projection. For the first time, we're able to understand why people voted the way they voted. In this country, there has never been anything like that before. Some institutions like CDD and others, they do some post-election service, maybe 2 years down the line. But then, I can't some but when people are voting, you ask them. So the following day or the same very day, you have the data. Say, this is why this person was voting this person. If you look at those who voted for lawyer Beidou, 61% of people who said developmental project was their top issue voted for him. And for the same people who said developmental issue is important, he won among those with senior high. In fact, he won across all educational levels. They preferred him than the Sumedu. So that's what we mean by exit poll. And exit polls gives you a better idea if people are being truthful as who will win the election. Even maybe by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you will know. But ethically, we don't disclose it. Don't disclose it. So you don't disturb. But we're able to share the demographic, who has voted, how many of them were men, women, what is their age profile. Those ones, we can share those information, as I did on the election an hour before the poll closed. I was sharing the data of people who have voted, their age groups, their religion, their ethnic groups, and so on and so forth. And you can do this for every electoral area. And we're able to also know that among those who voted for Beidou, included 16% who in the last election cast their vote for Kumi. So people abandoned NPP candidate. They didn't like him. Yes, our data collectors are not the same as those who work for the Ghana Statistical Service Department. We use students, some teachers, some nurses who are local in the area, and then when the job comes, we tell them we are going to this community, then they go and do the collecting for us. We pay them, and then they continue doing their own work, because instead of full-time job, we can give to them. So they are volunteers who make themselves available for training and then to be used in the future whenever there is any work. Whether we are doing public opinion poll or private commercial survey or research, we use them. Do you think MB stand a chance in 2028? To be very honest with you, the number so far doesn't look great. But I won't put much, I won't say much today, because in October, we are starting the September survey, what you call the National Tracking Poll, 3rd week of September. And we'll finish 1st week of October. So in that survey, we are putting the 4 top NDC candidates, Ato Forsin, Haruna Idrisu, Julius Debra, and Mosquito. We are putting them head-to-head against Honorable Kennedy Japan, and then Dr. Bawumia. Any person in either NPP or NDC who is getting at least 10% of the national vote, we would put them as head-to-head, so we can see which of them has a better chance in the 2028 election. At the moment, I don't have data. I don't want to speculate that it's going to be this person or that person, but I believe when the poll comes out, we will all see which of the candidates has the best chance. What that should be used is that the delegates must look at the one with the better chance. You see, the work we are doing is also to inform your delegates. That delegates, Muntio, Muntom, Machia, saying it here, into why no homoding against Asedin Kitia. If Asedin Kitia is the candidate. Why no homoding against Atiforsin? Why no homoding against Haruna? Why no homoding against Julius Debra? Sometimes the person doesn't have to win. But if for the 2023 elections, now we were doing Bawumia against Mahama. In fact, before Mahama was elected, we were doing Bawumia against Dufour, Bawumia against Mahama. Then we do Mahama against Kennedy, Dufour against Kennedy. Then we did Alan Martin against Mahama, Kennedy against Alan Martin against Dufour. We did all that scenario, and when Dufour lost the election, they would drop his name, and we continue with Mahama against the potential MPP candidates until MPP elected one person, and the rest was then Mahama versus Bawumia. So at every point in time in polling that we did from 2022 to 2023, we were doing that scenario. And let me be very honest with you, when Alan was in the race, Alan was doing 2% better than Bawumia. That is a fact. The poll numbers are there. And when Kennedy jumped in the race around October or so, Kennedy was doing 1 or 2% better than Bawumia against Mahama. It was there. We've mentioned that. And those performance Alan and Kennedy was doing, were putting up, were because of certain demographic. Certain demographic behavior did not affect them negatively, as it did negatively for Bawumia. Those are facts. So, yes, you should know who is the best to beat the other. And that's what delegates must use. Don't vote because me a delegate. You choose what you want to choose. But at the end of the day, that person would come to the country. And he will seek the vote of Ghanaians. That is where you will know that you've picked a wrong person or you have picked the right person. So make sure that you are picking the right person based on data, informed decision. Sometimes you vote for what you don't like, because what you don't like is what can give you the winner or the winning chance. Don't always go for what you think. Look at the data. Look at the data. So we have a lot to learn. We're going to be here to assist. If you have questions, we'll be able to answer you. And those who sometimes call and ask for jobs, we don't actually recruit right now. We're not recruiting right now.